Amarinder, officially welcome to the Performance Formula podcast. It's really, really good to have you here.
Thanks, Jody. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Cool. We've known each other for a very long time.
Very long time.
I remember you coming to South Africa. I don't actually know when it was. I know I was sort of young at doing level 1 and 2 courses, and I just remember giving you lifts home every night after the course.
I remember it was 2004 something, 2004, 5. Then I did level 2. Even you were a tutor for level 3 as well for GCB.
Yeah. Still am.
I remember that. I remember that. Long time.
Very, very long time.
Yeah.
It's been really cool, sort of from a distance, watching your journey and seeing what you do and what you get up to. You obviously coached in South Africa for quite some time, and I know you worked at St. David's, and in particular got to work with someone like Themba Bavuma when you were there, and then you moved to Canada, and you've been sort of busy coaching on that side of the pond, right, and busy growing the game.
Yeah, well, Jody, it's a wonderful journey, actually. I feel like when I came to South Africa, and I was playing cricket for Wits, and I was looking to earn some extra money. And if you know the guy, Pumi Majikwe, played South Africa, So he was playing with me, and he took me to St. David's. And after that, St. David's looked after me. So, and I'm very proudly, I always say, I'm very proudly call myself South African. So, because South Africa gave me everything. It gave me identity, my family, my kids. That's why I'm coaching today. Otherwise, I wouldn't probably maybe doing something else. And so it's a wonderful journey to work with the players from junior level to the top level. In Canada was wonderful. Spent 2.5 years with the national team and worked with the juniors, high performance, club cricketers, everyone. It's a wonderful journey.
Yeah. I think in particular, that's why I'm really looking forward to have you in this conversation. You know, I've recently just started a new section on the podcast called Developing Cricketers. I think I've got this long history in coaching cricket, and obviously mental performance really interests me. But I think there's a huge opportunity for the podcast to delve into this area a little bit, which is something of a passion of mine, you know, and thought maybe I'm keeping it away from the podcast for a bit. So I'm really looking forward to chatting with you along how do we actually develop cricketers? You know, how do we make them better? How do we get them to go from those young ages all the way up to the top ages? And what is it that we can steal from you and your experiences for cricketers, parents, other coaches to be aware of?
Jody, I remember that it was a refresher course of level 3. It was at Wanderers, and I still remember your words. You asked a question: when you start working on your kid to make him a successful cricketer. So few people said 7, 9, 4, and we came on a conclusion. Actually, you gave us answer. Since the kid born and you start planning, you start asking questions and this. So basically, journey starts actually very early age, very, very early age. And then you start asking questions, play fun ball, hand-eye coordination at home with a little plastic ball. Then we look for junior clubs or academies, and the kids go there or good schools. But end of the day, actually, it comes very much from inside, how badly you want it, how much you having a fun in a game. For me, to become a successful cricketer, you need quite a few things which are pretty important. Number one, you must have a talent. You must enjoy your game. You better have a very good circumstances in your favor, and you better be very brave as well. I feel that if you actually tick those boxes, and why I'm saying brave, it's a mind game. You are basically mind doctor for us. Actually, you work for a number of professional teams, and how to absorb pressure and how you go there and give your best under difficult circumstances. And that's a cricket. And I think I feel like people, they miss out. Doesn't matter how talented you are. If you don't know how to absorb the pressure and when to release it and how to give best in the difficult circumstances, then your skill level, you can't perform up to that level. That's why I actually I put one word, a brave. Then the circumstances, yes, this game you need a bit of luck for the selection as well. What type of player the team needed. For example, you are a wonderful left-arm spinner, but there are already 2 or 3 left-arm spinners in a team. You're never going to get a chance. But you are an ordinary medium pacer, and the team need a medium pacer. You probably will get a chance. So circumstances play a big role. So all those things plays. I think to come up to the next level, that's pretty important. Yeah.
I mean, I think you raised some freaking awesome points, right? And thanks for the little bit of a memory back down to way back when, when we spoke about, when does development actually start, and you actually remembering something that I said way back.
Jody, I remember all the things. I remember all the things, all your videos of MS Dhoni, the back left, all those things I still remember.
You're making me blush here, Amarinder. But thank you. I mean, thank you. It feels kind of weirdly good to know that you have an effect on somebody and you impacted somebody and you see their success, and then you feel a little bit a part of that,
Yeah, I do remember. Jody, just want to say thanks. I still remember. It was one of the course was going on and I was stuck somewhere and you helped me out.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah. I mean, that's what we do at the end of the day, right? This is, and I do appreciate your kind words, right? But I'm here to learn from you. I'm here to learn from you and understand what it is that you're doing, right? So you use this word talent, right? And I might want to delve a little bit into all of these things, but you use this word talent. Like, what is talent to you? When you look at a cricketer and you think about that concept or that idea, what is that?
The talent for me, actually, someone got a natural, wonderful hand-eye coordination, which is God gifted. You don't have to build too much. We got players got a wonderful agility. They can move around. You got a strong wrist. You can spin a ball. Like something you are gifted by God. That's what I mean by talent. Yeah. Few guys actually, you see that when they're bad, they're very stable. They don't move too much. Few guys, they are all over the place. Their body not in sync. So that's what I mean.
Do you think talent can be developed, or do you think like maybe let me ask my question like this, right? And I'm asking this because I wonder about this still sometimes. Do you think that somebody might not have natural stillness or a strong wrist, and they can learn to do that and become a talented cricketer? Or is it just something that gets them ahead of the game, sort of,
Jody, yes and no.
Okay.
Yes and no. Why? Few guys, if you ask me, I'm 5'11" to bowl 155. Someone is not naturally that much talent to bowl that fast. So how much you work hard, you can't bowl that fast. So few like the guys, they're nicely built, they got a natural action like that, they can bowl fast. You can bowl point. Why I'm saying yes, there are few things. Yes, if you put like amount of hard work and you can develop yourself, and there are a number of cricketers are like that, and they are world-class cricketers who know their identity and who know their post like a plus points of their batting, like what is good for them, what are the what are the controllable things they got, and they stay in that area only. So this is the reason they got a success. So it's yes and no both. Yes, you can work. You can work on someone like working hard and hitting thousands of balls. Definitely, the muscle memory gonna take it, and one day that guy will start scoring runs, and everybody will be amazed. How come this guy scoring runs? Why I'm saying no? Yeah, at some stage, like someone want to bowl fast or need to be very wristy, need to be a very good offie, leggy. So that's what I mean, actually. Sometimes you are God gifted. Just example like Queenie. Queenie is very much like he got a wonderful wrist. You worked with him. So how wrist is it? Like wonderful, God gifted, I think. And not only in a cricket, in any sport. AB de Villiers, God gifted.
Is there part of you that thinks if you haven't got the God gift that you can't make it? Or is it a case of there's special people that'll make it one day, and no matter how hard other people work, they might just fall short?
Jody, there is a coaching comes as you need a good coach who need to tell you what are your strong points and what you're supposed to do. And like how much you can extend yourself. Don't jump too much. Stay in this area and stuck in this area, and you will get a success. There you need a good coach.
Okay, I like that.
Because we can't coach everybody with the same way, with the same theory and same methodology. No, every human being is different. They got a different muscle, different mindset. And you worked with many athletes, even in South Africa. We noticed that from even school cricket to the professional cricket, how come the life change? How many players after the age of 19, they just quit cricket because they feel it boring. And they can't see themselves they're getting a professional contract. They quit cricket. Yes, we had a wonderful time. We played under 19. That's it. And after that, the difficult pathway, nobody want to take it. So, yes, I feel it actually this way.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that, my perception on this is that talent can be developed, but it certainly helps if you have the God-given gift. It certainly helps a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm sure, I don't know if you'd agree with me, I'm sure you've seen lots of cricketers with the God-given gift and then they just give it up because they're not willing to do the work.
I saw many cricketers, I'll be honest, and I've worked with many cricketers as well. They were amazing, but after the age of 18, they didn't play cricket. That's sad. Obviously, you are in a growing age and you want to look for your career. Maybe you find something like, yes, I might need to study something, maybe in a medicine or engineering or something else. It's better to try that side. In that, there I feel like actually we lost a lot of talent. A lot. Not only in South Africa, or it's all over the world. I must be honest. It's all over the world. We're missing most of the cricketers from the age of 19 to 23, between that age. Because they feel like, okay, it's too much hard work, it's boring. Now they got a girlfriend, they are looking for a professional degree, and boring, the time management, all those factors, it comes. And the age of 12, 13, it's too much energy. They want to try new things. So much fun to run around, a lot of energy. That time is different time. After 18, if you can't see the hope in a cricket, then the problem comes.
It makes my head think, right? And I suppose I'm thinking about this at this point in time because at times, we're involved with junior cricket. We're involved with junior games. You see parents who are placing a lot of pressure on their kids to make it at the age of 12, at 11, at 9, and then to hear you sort of talk about the drop off after the age of 19, it makes me kind of think that I wish those parents of the younger kids that they knew this, right? and that they would. I love the second point that you raised, right? Enjoyment. Because I think if we don't love this game, like really just love playing it, love being on the field, love competing, love showing ourselves, love challenging ourselves, whatever level that's at, unless that's sort of in place, that's why when I think cricketers at 18 stop, a big reason for that is because they don't love the game. They've maybe had so much pressure from their parents. They've had so much drama and issues and pushing that by the time of 18, they go, listen, I'm done with this. It doesn't look like there's a path for me out. Instead of saying, I love this game. I don't care if I just go play some club cricket. I don't care if I just do a little Saturday gig and I go practice once a week because I just love the game. I want to stay involved with the game. I think we hurt a lot of creators. And hey, coaches, we could be to blame too. We could also be pushing kids. We could also be pushing kids. Just not to put all the blame on just the parents. I think I do my best to be as mindful as I can around that and try and not put as much pressure I can, make it as fun as I can, as enjoyable as I can, especially at the younger ages. But I think it's an important message for me in our conversation so far that you've raised, that there's this big drop-off of between 19 and 23. It just sort of, the other big drop-off is at 13, 13 going to 14. That's the other big drop-off. And I think if more can be done by everybody in the lower levels to really just raise the enjoyment of playing the game, of being challenged by it, then I think there could be definitely more cricketers playing at the age of 25.
Yeah, because a lot of cricketers, they quit cricket and they start again.
Yeah.
And even a lot of them actually played for Proteas as well, who quit cricket and then they played.
Yeah.
So it's absolutely right, Jody. Actually, I feel it's not only parents, it's our coaches too. We guys, we need to blame ourselves. Rather than just putting a lot of pressure, we need to encourage the guys to carry on, play this wonderful game. And the coach's ego, I feel it, oh my word. This is pretty dangerous between the coaches. Rather than helping each other, we try to show to other people, yeah, I am a better coach. Other person doesn't know anything. We believe in that. We shouldn't do that. We should try to learn from each other, help each other. So that part, I feel it's missing big time. It's missing, and we better learn from it. Okay, from conversation from last 20 minutes, I already got 2-3 points from you, which I probably never thought. So it's always like conversation, coaches conversation. That's a wonderful thing because you get few points. Like it's amazing. It's a life changing sometime.
Yeah, that's the reason for the podcast, because you and I are having this conversation and hoping that other people hear it, and then maybe it helps them too. That's the whole purpose. Yeah.
Now you talk about the talent. Give me an example again of Pumi. I played South Africa. Played for Lions. Okay. He started as St. David's from 14D team. 14D to 14C, then 15B, 15A. Then he played provincial cricket for Lions, and then played for South Africa A. Well, but I mean, there are a lot of cricketers. Temba Bavuma, he never gets selected till under 17 for provincial team, and suddenly when he got a little bit stronger, and he went all the way. Same as a Dominic Hendricks, actually. Dominic Hendricks, he played everything. He was a player of the tournament under 19 World Cup, average over 90. And when he was a kid, he struggled to hit the ball through the gap. Before that, everybody thinking like, oh, is this guy going to play cricket? Is he going to be successful? But if you look as a coach, the guy, he got a better technique. He's humble. He got a right frame of mind. The day he's going to get a little bit stronger, he's going to fly. And I'm sure you got on numbers of examples like that. Numbers.
Yeah.
So here, actually, we need a support from parents. I think we need a good conversation with the parents too, to explain them, putting pressure, like demanding performance from your kid. is basically unnecessary pressure. Rather than demanding performance, we should ask how much fun you had today.
Mm-hmm.
If you had a fun, that's wonderful. You bowl 1 over, you enjoy it, you feel that you enjoy it, that's wonderful. Slowly, you're going to bowl 2 overs, 4 overs more. I mean, it's if you look for a fun, and my point for the parents actually not putting too much pressure. Same as the player, they shouldn't listen to their peers, sometimes outside the coach's pressure and their peer pressure too. What's happening? How much are you having fun in a game? That's more. Queenie enjoyed his cricket. He loved it. He doesn't care actually who's bowling, what's happening. Go and smash the ball. So it was very simple fun there. How much enjoying, how much having a fun. Yes, you need to be serious. You need to be smart. You better be very smart, brave, and those things will come. But if you start putting up pressure, unnecessary pressure in early ages, age of 12, 13, I feel it's pretty damaging the natural talent of the cricketer.
Yeah, I don't think I can say that much better. That would be my exact sort of sentiment, you know. I wish that millions of people listen to this podcast so far. You know, there's a thing that I believe in that I haven't necessarily heard you speak about. That when you say the parents should rather ask, "Have you enjoyed?" You know, like, "Did you enjoy today? Did you have fun?" I believe I don't disagree with that. I think that's super important. There's a part of me that I really like seeing improvement and learning and players being able to do that. And I think that's where, for me, I found that the talented cricketer who can learn will become exceptional.
Yeah.
The average cricketer who can learn will maybe become as good as the talented cricketer was, you know, because because you know, if you can't learn, if you haven't got the ability to be okay with the mistake, make the mistakes, want to make the mistakes, so that in the name of improvement, so that next time you can do it better, so that next time that fast bowler bowls an away swinger to you, you don't nick it off.
Yeah.
Like, if you've got that ability to consistently just progress in the game, I think that's a super important ingredient. You know, that I might add to your four. Of the talent, enjoy, the circumstances, and the brave, I would put learning right up there. I don't know what you think of that.
No, I agree. If I add something on the top of this, we up to age of 14, 15, we are fine. So what happened after age of 15 when you build up a wonderful technique and you need to make your muscle memory and keep it, do it natural. That's a process. You have to do this thing for hours and hours. So you don't have to think. The ball is coming, your body reacts automatically like that. And that process is a very boring process. So you're doing one thing again and again. And you might need to do this thing for a number of years. And there actually player thinks it's a boring. And that's the boring and a tough time for the players who ever go through from that. Like when you do the repetitions and whoever goes through that part, I feel it, that guy actually got a lot of success. And I am the witness actually for this. The guys who did like this, they got a lot of success. I am the witness.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing, I'm going to put my own words to this, right? It's the enjoyment of the process of becoming better. It's the enjoyment of learning to play the game that matters as well. Not just the enjoyment of, oh, I got 100, you know, or, oh, I got 5 wickets today.
Yeah. So for me, actually, yes, it's an achievement, scoring 100. Oh, it must be a fun. But fun is totally different. Fun is totally different. You're going in, you're playing few shots, you're enjoying your cricket, you want to bat more and bat more and bat more. It's so much fun. That's, for me, it's more important. Rather than scoring 100 runs, playing 100 balls is more important. I look for a guy who got caliber of or like temperament or bat for 100 balls, and finding a fun in that. And just imagine, if you think about that, bat for 100 balls, how many things you will learn if you stay on a pitch.
Yeah.
And scoring 100 runs, I feel it sometimes it's unnecessary pressure again. It's a
I agree.
lot
Yeah,
of
I
fun,
agree.
lot of fun. But finding a fun to stay on a crease, that's a main thing.
How has your, and I ask this based on this idea of what you're talking about, facing 100 balls, right? Has your coaching shifted if you think about developing cricketers in the T20 era versus before?
Yeah, T20 cricket is different. If you ask me, like in a developing age, it's a bit challenging for those kids who are not strong and just going in and start hitting all over. Like for young boys up to age of 14, it's a little bit difficult. But when you grow up, actually, then it's good. I take T20, actually give a role to the guys, like for example, 18-year-old. Okay, I'm looking from you to bat through, and one of the top three should bat through. This guy has to, you batting in the middle order. You're looking from 20 balls, 30 runs only. From you, I need for 15 balls, 20 runs only. From you as a bowler, I want you bowl 4 overs. That's what you look, how you gonna bowl 4 overs. You are my wicket taker, you're leg spinner. In case you go for runs, you don't worry, you're going for wickets. We'll back you up for this much. So it's a little plans, and per player you need to mention the roles. T20 cricket is moving very fast. I was talking to one day, say, why our guys, they take time, they need to be mentally set and get and then score runs in even in a T20. How come the guys in a baseball, they have to go, they got only 3 strikes, you have to switch on from ball one, there is a no time. I feel it, we should learn something from there as well. Same as in a fielding, the way they field, they run, they throw on a run. So I was talking at class, so we should learn something from baseball too. There are many things we should take. Mental side, and hand-eye coordination or hitting and those things. So this is a like modern game. Is going. Nobody have a time to get in a bowl, then stand up, action, then throw. No, you get a bowl and release straight away, throw around.
Yeah.
Don't waste the time. You see 10 runs, other team will give 10 runs. These are 20 runs. You put extra 10 runs running between the wicket, other team leave 10 runs, that's another 20. It's a more than enough difference to win the T20 game. So
yeah. I love that idea, right? I love that idea of learning from other sports. As you said, that my head sort of going straight away. Okay, but in baseball the ball doesn't bounce. Maybe that's the reason we just need to take a little bit of time. Maybe get a sense of the surface.
You know what? That's a point. Ball doesn't bounce, and what I found, actually, they don't practice too much. They practice more of a fielding, or they practice only for hitting.
Yeah.
So they keep their mind very clear and fresh what they're going to do. What I noticed that as a cricketer, our players, I feel like our mind sometimes is not clear. We go with a double-minded.
Yeah.
Or should I look for this bowler, or this ball is to hit or no? But in T20, you need a very much clear mind. Very much a clear mind. Your short selection must be right at the top. If the ball is there, it's no mercy.
Yeah. Okay. How do you coach 10-year-old kids differently now because of T20 cricket versus, say, 20 years ago? Or has what you teach them and how you teach them stayed very much the same because they're younger? Or are there things you do now that's different to, say, what you would have done 20 years ago?
Look, Jody, principles are same. Like now, or 20 years or 40 years, principles are same, and I have to work on our principles consistently. But the way of coaching, you need to add fun. You need to add fun, and fun like that, they better learn how to swing it all the way. Properly. The ball should be going far. And where you add everything, where you work on their biomechanics, you're teaching them technique as well and hitting as well. Every single time. You add everything. So as a coach, you better be very smart. You can't go with the old school way only. Okay, there is a cone, just hit and wait. So a 9-year, 10-year-old, yes, you have to go maybe play with a tennis ball, let the little kids play the game, smash the ball, run around, dive for a catches. And a lot of natural athlete comes from there because they dive to the tennis balls, things. That's my way of thinking to coach a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. No, I mean, I think we sort of think along similar lines there. I also believe I might just use different language. So you talk about principles. For me, I would imagine it's the things I call fundamentals, like the core sort of building blocks of performance, and of cricketing sort of ability, agility, balance, coordination, speed.
Exactly.
Batting, there's weight transfer. A stable base, there's key underlying fundamental principles that sort of underpins everything. All the technical stuff gets built on top of that. And then certainly I think what's changed for me quite a lot is I coach way more attackingly than I would have 20 years ago. And I think you talk about the same thing with full swings of the bat and, things like that, where Jody, 20 years ago, I wouldn't even have thought, as an example, of teaching a 9-year-old kid a sweep shot, where they come into the nets now and they say, "I want to sweep, coach. You got to teach me this." So certainly the game, I think, is evolving and changing and moving forward. I remember I was in a coaches group, and one of the coaches posted a picture. He said, "I wanted to do forward defense with my 9-year-old kid today," and the kid said to me, "Coach, I don't want to learn forward defense because it's not going to make me millions in the IPL." And that's from a 9-year-old, right? So I think what we've got to understand at times as coaches is that kids are not oblivious to these things. They can watch it on TV, they can stream it on YouTube, they can catch it up on whatever other service or social media, they can scroll Instagram and see things. And kids go, "I want to do that." I think where the kids get lost is they forget, they don't have the understanding us as coaches have, that there's these underlying principles that allows you to do all that fancy stuff. They just want to do the fancy stuff they see on TV, but they don't necessarily have the fundamental stuff in place. And I think that's what I sort of take from you, is that get the fundamental stuff in place. When you're younger, you work at that, and then down the line, it'll allow you all this magic, where you can step across and flick something over the leg side, or you can get down on a knee and hit it over your head. That it's very much dependent on your fundamentals actually being very good, or your principles being very good,
Yeah. No, Jody, well, thank you very much. Yeah, it's good. I just want to share some experience, like what happened in one of our game. One of our guy, actually, he was just placing a ball, and he wanted to try to get a single, but he was struggling to get a single. And the fielder was coming in, but the runs were not coming. So we make a plan, try to hit as hard as you can towards the field. Forget about the gas, just hit as hard as you can along the ground. So what happened with this, all the fielders went back 2-3 steps, and they were more gaps. The runs were start coming. So sometimes the guys need to think those things as well. Like, okay, it's not about the ball going in a hand. It's about how much you putting a pressure on a fielder too.
Mm-hmm.
Putting fielder under pressure, we forget that trick in modern cricket.
Yeah.
So putting a pressure and then stealing a runs, doing something with the purpose, that I felt actually that's played a big role. It's a good trick. I found it.
Yeah. I actually use that idea more, I think, from a fielding point of view.
Yeah.
Because you
Okay.
see a lot of small kids, what do? They go sit deep.
Yeah.
I need space. So I explain to them, if you sit deep, you make the gaps bigger.
Yeah. More
We
gap.
stay. Yeah, the gaps to the batter, they appear bigger. So the closer we can stay, for the longer we can stay there, the gaps actually look smaller.
Yeah.
They appear smaller.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely agree. Right, from a batting point of view, if you like, I spoke with a cricketer the other day, and we were talking about what if there's like a short leg in place. I said, well, you got two options. Option one is you hit the ball straight at him. You know, if there's a short mid wicket in a place and you don't like him being there, you've got a couple of options. You just smash it at him. Obviously, if it's a short mid wicket, you maybe want to get it on the ground, not into a catchable area. But if you're going to hit 3 or 4 balls straight at a close fielder, that fielder will go to the bowler and say, listen, my man, I don't want to be here anymore. So that's one option. The other option is to put so much pressure on another part of the field, so much pressure that it forces the captain to move that fielder to close that gap. And those are your two options. And you got to sort of think about your skill set, your strengths, if you can target a specific area. Maybe there's no third man. Off spinners bowling, no third man on a turning wicket, and he's got like a short mid wicket, say, and you don't like that he's there because a lot of balls go to him. You can either decide to smash it at that mid wicket, or you can start hitting it to third man. And so that's why we need these skills, right? We need these skills so that we can put pressure on an area. So if you've hit a 4 through third man and you hit another 4 through third man and you take a single, the captain will certainly have to start thinking hard about, okay, shucks, where do I find this fielder? Maybe he just shifts the field around, right? Maybe he puts point back and he creates a bigger gap at cover. Well, now you've got to punish that gap at cover. You've got to do that. You've got to find that opportunity and put pressure there, because somewhere at some point in time, the captain would have to move that mid wicket. He either has to push him back, or he has to do something to the field, different line, different length, or maybe a different bowler, because you're putting pressure on certain parts of the field. Which was a wonderful conversation with this cricketer. But I don't know necessarily how often it gets coached, right? How often people teach kids these things. Because I think a lot of coaching is just hold the bat like this, hit it like this, get your elbow up, and make sure your head's upright, don't fall over, And so I think I love where we're at with the conversation, in that we're alluding to things about teaching the game rather and playing of the game. Push fielders back, pull them in, go over the top. I think at times this stuff gets neglected quite a lot if we think of how cricketers get developed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. There is a time where you work on your biomechanics, and there is a time when you work on your tactics and strategy. When you work on your tactics and strategy, then it's a totally different matter. When you work on your biomechanics, then you concentrate and work on this only. But modern cricket, it's not about 100% about very much technical. It's like how strong you are mentally. If you're not using your technique and your strategy properly, and you're mentally weak, that's not properly. I don't know what the word I should use. It's a waste thing. It's a waste. And the more important, actually, as a coach, we should learn how much we talk about this is the gentleman game. How many bad things happening around us in a cricket even. Like, this is the sport we play in a long pants, collar, everything. And who we develop are good people, are good leaders. We clean up our area, help each other, a good bonding, nation building. We forget very quickly when we play in a team, where are you from, what race are you from, what color are you from. I mean, we forget everything. That's the beauty of this game. Then we talk, eat together. There is a reason actually that things are like that in a cricket. That's why we're having a tea, lunch, sitting like that. That's why we're playing in a longs. The logic behind it is very deep.
Yeah, there's a spirit to this, right? There's an ethos and an ethics to it. Yeah.
Yes, it's to develop a wonderful human being, not only a millionaires or cricketers. This sport is to develop a wonderful leaders, businessmen, all those guys. Good people.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think I love that you raised this, right? I think cricket has this wonderful ability because it's an individual sport in a team environment.
Team environment, yes.
And if you think of business, you're an individual that has to do your work one day, but you might have to be able to play well with others. You might have to be, and so I agree 100%. And I think if we talk about the idea of developing cricketers, right, I think that's a part that when us as parents and coaches put this amount of pressure at times on the young cricketers to just perform, to just go score those runs, to get the 100, to take the 5 wickets, to be the star of the team. I think we missed the opportunity to do that, right? I think we really, really missed the opportunity to have cricketers just be learning how to be good human beings, firstly. And then if they're exceptional at cricket and they're willing to do the work and they have fun and they can be brave and circumstances works out great for them, then hey, we might have a person who has a career out of the game. But if not, we've produced somebody who loves the game, who will support it afterwards, who will take their kids to go watch the games, who will watch it on TV, who has good memories to share, and they can do their work exceptionally well, and they can play with others nicely, and then cricket has done its job there too.
Yeah. Agree with you. Actually, that's exactly what it's supposed to be. If you remember the history of a cricket, who were playing cricket, it was belongs to like some elite class only. To develop a wonderful, a successful human being. Yes. Now your second point, actually, the parent. Sometimes I feel it. Parents want to see themselves. They want in their young time, actually, they want to be a cricketer, a successful cricketer. Now they want their son must be a successful cricketer. They want to see themselves in their kids. I think this is the one of the main reason, and nobody say openly this. And so the pressure plays a big role. Big role. And parents don't think actually those things are pressure. He's my son. I know how to talk with him. I know what he says, the way he thinks. Yeah, they're probably right. But when you look at a player, when you observe a player with fresh eye, you see a different picture sometimes.
Yeah.
Yes, you play, enjoy the game, play hard cricket, have fun, and slowly things will come, and it will get a lot of success. That's what I feel.
Yeah. I agree 100%. I think the one part we haven't really spoken about yet, maybe just for the last couple of minutes, is this idea of the circumstance, right? I remember sitting in a coaches meeting when at that point in time, Dave Richardson, the former South African wicketkeeper, was 38 years old when he retired from international cricket. And Mark Boucher was 20. And I was in a coaches meeting, and some coach, I can't remember who, stood up and said, well, we've got to be aware that if Mark Boucher plays until the same age as Dave Richardson, if he retires from cricket at the age of 38, which he did almost, right? He was very close to that. Then our next wicketkeeper of our country is currently 2 years old.
Yes, that's a difficult question.
Right?
It's very difficult.
And so if we talk of circumstance, how many phenomenal wicket keepers were there?
They were.
In the next 15 to 18 years of South African cricket, who just never got the chance, right? And so Quinton de Kock was the lucky one who was about 18 to 20 when Mark Boucher was towards the end of his career, right?
We going back to the same point, the circumstances.
Yeah.
circumstances, actually, if you born in the era of Dave Richardson or Mark Boucher, you would never get a chance because they are doing exceptionally well for the country.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you don't have a room to go get in, prove yourself, because your competition is pretty stiff. But now maybe that's why there are too many leagues, too much cricket. Now the players should think like that. Okay, well, I got more than enough opportunity to prove myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So before that, it was not like that. Since 2017 T20 World Cup or 2007 T20 World Cup came, and after that IPL and all those leagues, now opportunities are big all over the world.
Yeah.
And we should think positive.
Yeah, definitely. Amarinder, this chat has been fun, eh?
It's very good. It takes me back like 20 years back. And
yes.
It's good, like we talk about cricket and we talk about the deep, the logic behind it, what's happening. It's more like a mental talk rather than just a technical talk. My player is falling and this and that. I think this is wonderful. That's what we are missing in a modern cricket. We talk about the mind and maybe what's happening in the brain in the modern world, what's happening. We need to understand our new generation. Nobody have a time to cook a food. Everybody wants instant, ready. Everything must be ready. So it's a, I think it's a wonderful talk, and always nice to talk to you. And always when I talk to you, I get something.
Yeah, same.
And
Same.
I still remember you gave me a favor.
Yeah. Always my pleasure.
Yeah.
Like I said at the start, it's been great to watch your journey, and it's been sort of cool to connect with you over the years. I think you sent a couple of players my way a couple of years ago. It's cool to see how you influence people. It's cool to know I played a little part in that, and I wish you all the best. And I just want to invite anybody, if they've got sort of anything that they want to share on this episode, that they must feel free to comment below. If people want to reach out to you over in Canada, if they're listening to this, how can they contact you? How can they get in touch with you if you're open to it?
Yeah, I can give my phone number. I'm available on about different things. It's obviously the code is +1 in North America, and my mobile number is 437 223 1221. Otherwise, I'm available on our social media as well, on Instagram, Coach Bhinder, and on Facebook, it's EB Cricket Coaching.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Amarinder. Cool.
Enjoy. Cheers. Have fun.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks. I will. Bye. Amarinder, before you go, can you send me a couple of photos?
Yes, I will.
If you just send me a couple of photos, action photos, whatever you want, headshots. Just like I'm sure you've seen, I do some things on social media, so I'll design those and then ship them off to you.
I will do it. Thank you.
Cool. Our chat will be out on Thursday. It'll come out this Thursday.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
Bye-bye.
It was great catching up.
Bye.
Okay. Cheers. Bye.